$2,400 Social Security boost. I have all the details and what you need to know right here in the video, so let's get right into it. All right, now in this video, we're going to be talking about what some lawmakers have indicated they'd be bringing to us about right now, which is the $2,400 Social Security boost, which would impact millions upon millions of Social Security beneficiaries. Also, we're going to be talking about some of the other bills and pieces of legislation that are out there that many lawmakers have also indicated they'd be bringing to us about right now, which we haven't seen yet. Well, I think a lot of us here in the community, as well as many other fixed income beneficiaries, are wondering, where is our $2,400? Well, that's what I want to talk about, along with all the other bills here in the video, so let's get right into it. However, really fast before we do, thank you so much for joining me. If you're new here or if you haven't done so yet, please make sure to subscribe by hitting the button right down below the video, as it's totally free to do so, and because I am your one and only daily advocate, I'm here for you right by your side each and every day, doing all the necessary research and breaking it all down right here in these short videos so you can stay updated with what's actually going on, and most importantly, how it's going to impact you, your money, your benefits, your lifestyle, your bank account, and of course, anything out there right now you can possibly grab and or take advantage of, including money, benefits, raises to benefits, checks, programs, stimulus, or anything else out there right now for the low income and fixed income. Of course, I want to bring that to your attention right away so you can grab it. So again, thanks so much for joining me. Please subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet, as the information is changing literally every single day. There's a lot of stuff going on. It's a very busy time, and I'll be here for you with all that information each and every day. So again, subscribe down below, and let's get into it and talk about where is your $2,400 Social Security boost, and why did the lawmakers say that they'd be bringing it to us right now, along with all these other bills and pieces of legislation? These are some great questions. Let's get right into it. All right, so here's what it comes down to. A handful of months ago, many lawmakers were out talking about all these different bills, packages, proposals, and all these different ways that they want to change and or fix Social Security. In fact, some of them looked really, really good, right? Over the last several months here, we've been talking about a lot of these different bills and pieces of legislation, and realistically, some of them look really, really good to help out millions and millions of beneficiaries. So, many of us are now sitting here scratching our heads wondering, wait, I thought you said it was coming about right now. Where is it, right? And when I say right now, here's what I mean by that. Some of the lawmakers have indicated after the midterm elections, they'd be bringing this information to us and working on it in Congress. Well, guess what? We're after the midterm elections. So, excuse me, where is it, Congress? You know what I mean? So I think that's what many of us are wondering right now, because, it might be easier for Congress living on $200,000 a year. It's easy for them to get by. But what about the people living on, I don't know, $10,000 a year, $9,800, $12,000 a year? What about those individuals? Yeah, it's pretty difficult, right? And a $200 per month raise or $2,400 more per year would be pretty substantial for a lot of people, even though this inflation would eat that up in just a second. At least it's better than nothing, right? So let's quickly talk about what's going on here. So like I said, a handful of months ago, some Democratic lawmakers, or Democratic senators, I should say, Bernie Sanders, Elizabeth Warren, and a few other Democratic senators came together and introduced the Social Security Expansion Act. Now, in this one, it also includes a $200 per month raise or $2,400 annual boost to Social Security benefits, which would also impact millions and millions of Social Security beneficiaries. Now, there was some indication that this would be coming after the midterm elections. Guess what? Look at the calendar. We're well beyond the midterm elections, right? So, again, just saying, like we like to say sometimes here on the channel, right? Just saying. Anyway, so as a result of that, there's a couple of cool things within the Social Security Expansion Act. Number one is obviously the $200 per month boost. And again, all of these provisions in the Social Security Expansion Act would actually go on for the next roughly 74 years, out until 2096. Pretty cool, right? That's a long time from right now, right? It's a very long time, virtually the end of the century, right? So anyway, that's what it would go out to. Now, there's some other information in there as well, which would also be raising taxes on higher income individuals to push off the insolvency date of Social Security, all of that, but some pretty good stuff within there. And again, that sounded pretty good. And now all of us continue to wonder, where is it? Where's our $2,400? Where's our extra $200 a month? All of these details as well. However, However, I do want to talk about some other bills and pieces of legislation that we've also seen over the last, handful of months here or so that have been introduced by other lawmakers that have also had indications that sometime after the midterm elections, they would also be coming. Now, however, yes, we are well beyond the midterm election. However, at the same time, to be fair, if they said sometime after the midterm election, I guess technically that would be pretty much anytime after the midterm election, like 5 days after, 10 days after, 10 months after, 10 years after. I mean, to be fair, I guess they really didn't indicate how far after the midterm election, right? So I guess I don't know. I guess I need to give them the benefit of the doubt, even though I don't really want to. You know what I mean? So I guess they didn't maybe indicate how far after the midterm election. All right, but anyway, let's quickly talk about a couple other bills and pieces of legislation that are out there that have also been indicated to come sometime after the midterm elections, which would also help out Social Security beneficiaries and the Social Security program as a whole. Number one, and one of the most popular, is obviously the Social Security 2100, that one as well. Now, this one was introduced by John Larson, who is a Democratic representative. Now, this one has been around a lot, and in fact, over the summer, there were actually a couple different hearings on this one where Congress came together and they talked about all the details about it, and it looked pretty encouraging at the time. Realistically, it looked pretty good, and many of us were pretty hopeful that something about that was going to be coming relatively soon. However, haven't seen much about it as of recently, right? Now remember, in the Social Security 2100, there's a variety of different provisions within it, including about a dozen different provisions to shore up Social Security, raise benefits, increase the minimum benefit, change the way that the annual cost of living adjustment is calculated, implement immediately a 2% raise for everybody, all kinds of different things. However, one of the major problems with the Social Security 2100 is it only lasts for 5 years, then we revert back to what we were doing, okay? So 5 years, yeah, I guess it's better than nothing, but bringing things back to where they were, prior to the changes wouldn't necessarily be a good thing either. So that is probably one of the biggest downfalls behind the Social Security 2100. Now, there are many other pieces of legislation out there as well, including the one that was just introduced, a couple months ago, called the You Earned It, You Keep It Act by Angie Craig. And again, this one is basically to push off Social Security taxes for those individuals who are potentially going to be facing a lot more taxes on your Social Security benefits in 2023 as a result of the big 8.7% annual cost of living adjustment that is coming out, or that the Social Security Administration announced in October 2022. Okay, so as a result of that, this unfortunately is going to push some people into the category where now your Social Security benefits are going to be taxed. Again, that's not going to be a pretty picture for a lot of people that fall into that category. Now, it's not going to reach everybody. Not everybody's going to fall into that, but some people certainly will. And that's not going to be a good situation when all of a sudden your Social Security is now taxed, and therefore that money that you're struggling on by every single month is now going to get smaller because you're going to owe some taxes on that, okay? So this bill out of Angie Craig is the You Earned It, You Keep It Act, again, protecting Social Security, again, from Social Security taxes, because just like the bill says, you earned it, you keep it, right? I like it. That's a great one right there. I like the name of that one as well. I mean, it's spot on, right? That's exactly what people need to do is, realistically, yeah, you did earn it, so you should be able to keep it, right? I don't know. It just seems right to me, but what do I know, right? But anyway, there are some other pieces of legislation out there, including the Social Security for Future Generations Act as well. And this one is also out of Al Lawson, another Democratic representative. And again, many of the provisions within many of these bills and pieces of legislation that are out there are actually very similar. A lot of them also want to change the way that the annual cost of living adjustment is calculated, because realistically, the way that the COLA is currently calculated is way behind what it should be. And we know, because I've talked about this before in other videos, the way that that is calculated, because of that, we're losing a little bit, a couple tenths of a percent to the annual cost of living adjustment every single year and over long periods of time because of compounding and the small fractions of a percentage point, as in a few tenths of a percent year over year over long periods of time. This would actually result in hundreds and hundreds of dollars for the average Social Security beneficiary that you should be getting more, but you're not because of one little flaw with the way that the annual cost of living adjustment is calculated. So that's just another bill that's out there. And again, there's many different pieces of legislation. Not to mention, what about what the president wants to do? Yeah, have you heard about all the things that the president wants to do for Social Security? And again, nothing has been done about it, right? So, as a result of this, many of us continue to wonder what's going on with the $2,400 Social Security boost, or $2,400 throughout the course of the entire year, or the $200 every single month for millions upon millions of beneficiaries. Well, here's what it comes down to. We're after the midterm elections. We are well beyond the midterm elections, just as indicated by lawmakers. Now, again, did they maybe kick the can down the road just as a little bit of a stall to say, hey, after the midterm elections, we'll get this done? Or was that maybe a little bit of a political ploy? I don't know. Maybe, hey, if you get us the right people, we'll get the job done for you. Sounds pretty interesting to me, right? And again, this is not a political statement. I don't take political sides in my videos. I just don't like all the political games, and I'm totally fine saying that because I think all of us are sick of it. Do something to help the low income and fixed income. I don't know. How about that, right? Maybe they should actually do something, and then we would recognize them for that versus just giving us a bunch of empty promises that they never follow through on. I don't know. I guess what speaks louder, empty promises or action? I think action speaks a lot louder, right? But that's just me. I don't know. I guess I'm just going out on a limb here and just guessing that actual actions here would be very helpful and speak a lot louder than, just all the little promises they continue to make. So anyway, this is what it comes down to. Here's where we currently are right now. And again, like I've said before, 2023 is going to be very interesting. With the new Congress, with all the new lawmakers, with everything like this, it's going to be very interesting to see what does this new Congress come in with? What do the new representatives come in with? What do the new senators come in with as far as bills, packages, proposals, amendments, reform to these very important fixed income benefits? Do they finally come through with a $200 raise per month? Do they finally work through a $2,400 boost to Social Security? Do they finally push out the taxes on Social Security beneficiaries? Do they maybe change the way that the annual cost of living adjustment is calculated? What are they going to do for the older adults, seniors, older adults, people with disabilities, fixed income beneficiaries? I think that's a big question that many of us want to know. What are they going to do? Because here's the thing. Guess how many people get Social Security, retirement, SSDI, survivors, SSI, VA benefits? Cumulatively, there's about 70 million beneficiaries. It's a lot of people. That makes a huge percentage of our population in this country. Therefore, they probably want to know what's going on with this, which, by the way, that's about 21% of our population. That's a huge percentage of our population, and they know it because, guess what? These individuals who receive these fixed income benefits are voters. And do they want 21% of the vote? Probably, right? Yeah, exactly. So therefore, they've got to get something done, not to mention these programs have some major financial issues ahead of them, right? We know that Social Security has a major financial issue coming in about 12 years from now. We know that Medicare is on the brink, We know that Medicaid is not doing well, okay? We know that all these programs need some major reform, and we need a Congress that actually works on this stuff rather than just kicking the can down the road, because here's the thing. Pushing it off and delaying all the inevitable on this stuff is not going to solve anything, okay? Just like the homework assignment that you're given in school, right? Pushing it out until the very last day, probably not a good idea, even though I was notorious for that. So I'm the pro. Don't worry. I was the best at doing that. You know what I mean? The day before, the morning of, you know what I mean? Literally sitting in class 3 minutes before it starts, quickly trying to finish it up. Oh yeah, been there, done that, did all that stuff. You know what I mean? I was like the worst student in the world. Pretty much still am. So anyway, I'm here for you in any way that I possibly can be. I'm watching all this stuff very closely as I truly want to help you out in any way that I can. I want to keep you updated with all this stuff going on right now. Not to mention, I want to watch all of this stuff coming out of Congress right now, what they're going to be introducing, what they're bringing up, what they're going to do for us. At the end of the day, we all need to continue asking the question, what are you doing for us? Congress, what is in it for me, right? We need to continue asking Congress these questions because at this point, they don't really have an answer. And we need to keep pressuring them for that. What is in it for us? What is in it for me? How are you going to benefit me, right? You know what I mean? And by me, I mean like you, me. We're all sitting here saying the same thing, right? So me pertains to, everybody here, right? All of us. I'm not just saying like me, but like, everybody. So as in all of us were saying that statement. So Hope this makes sense. Anyway, I'm here for you in any way that I can be. I want to break this all down for you. So again, please subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet. Share the video with your friends, family, social media, and go back and check out any of the other thousands and thousands of videos here on the channel. Until next time, have a good one, enjoy your day, and I'll catch you again later in the next video.